Hello, everyone. Today I am here with Rocky again, and we are here for another episode of amazing things that you can do with your health and wealth. I know we are talking about headaches today, but every single day we want to give you information on how to improve your health, decrease pain, improve function, and of course, your longevity. So, Rocky, what about headaches are we going to talk about today? Let's go for it.
Yeah. So I was actually surprised because when I was doing my research, I found out that there are some people who do not experience headaches. And to me,
I'm one of
that's
them.
really
Like once or
okay.
twice a year, maybe. And I know I could say like, oh, maybe it's because I was dehydrated.
Yeah.
I know it's something. Like something was not right.
Yeah.
It's not like randomly that I will get it. So, yeah,
hmm Right. And, because I always thought that it was like a normal thing,
right.
right? Just like I know a lot of our viewers do. And according to statistics,
Yes.
there are approximately 45 million of Americans who experience headaches, right? Once or twice a day. So
Yeah, like
that's
consistently.
a lot, right?
That's a lot. That's a
That's a
lot of
lot.
people. Yeah.
So the first thing that I want to ask you, Dr. Tam, is I know that there are different types of headaches, right? So I want to know what those types are.
Okay. So first
Mhm.
off, it usually starts off, most people are like, oh, I get headaches and migraines. It usually
Yeah.
doesn't start off with a migraine. It starts off with a
Mhm.
headache. A headache could be like a tension headache. Tension means like there's something like it feels like a band tied around your head. It could be like
Mhm.
a location headache where it could be in your temporals, the temporal part of the brain right here, the frontal
Mhm.
lobe, right, the occipital lobe in the back. Sometimes it goes from the back to the front to the back, right? Sometimes it can cause ringing in the ears. Now,
Mm.
when we don't pay enough attention to why we're getting the headaches and we just try to work through them, now we get to experience something called migraines, where it's
Mhm.
affecting your body so much that certain noise, frequency of noise,
Yeah.
loud or soft noise, bright lights starts affecting people, starts straining your eyes. So those are different types of headaches. I mean, there's definitely even more types than
Mhm.
that, but those are the most popular ones that we see.
Mhm. Right. And how do you basically differentiate, right? I know I heard that there's even cluster headaches.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you differentiate between a tension headache and a cluster headache versus a migraine?
Right. So a cluster headache is where you get it like in multiple spurts, where it's you can get them, say, for example, first thing in the morning, boom, you get hit with a few headaches or series of headaches, and then you don't get them anymore. Then you get another cluster of headaches. That could be considered a cluster headache as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, everyone responds to different stimulants differently, whether it's a sound stimulant, food stimulant, whether it's a stress stimulant, right? Something usually triggers the headache. It could be imbalance of your nervous system. Your head and neck could have a lot of stress, sometimes turns into vertigo, right? The key question becomes what is causing that headache? And it could be stressors. We've had patients that only get headaches in the afternoon. And this particular patient, this is a funny case. I said, what happens usually where are you when you usually get this headache? I'm at home when I usually get them. I said, wow. I said, so you get them when you're at home? I said, around what time? It's always around 2 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, always. And she says, once in a while, it's earlier. I said, really? When is it earlier? So we start having her document. Okay. And it's
Mm.
only earlier, like 12 to 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. And then I said, we figured it out. Her kids get out of school around 3:15 every day, except Wednesdays when they get out of school early.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, as she anticipates her kids coming home, her neck and shoulder starts tensing up,
Okay.
and it just locks up. And as it locks up, she starts getting these headaches where by the time her kids come home, she has to lay down for a moment. Right. And she's like, yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And I said, oh my gosh, your kids are giving you these headaches. I said,
Mm-hmm.
then we start talking. We started correcting her alignment because her neck alignment was so poor.
Mm-hmm.
Her threshold for stress is very low. So if your
Mm-hmm.
normal threshold is here and you're normally here, but your threshold of headache is here, a little bit will set you off, right?
Right.
So what we did was we corrected her neck alignment, her shoulders. Now she has a bigger bucket for threshold. So now if she's
Yes.
here, her stress level goes here. She doesn't get that headache anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much we clear the headache, it's that we cleared her level of stress potential, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I then asked her, I said, what is it about the kids that stresses you out? She says, oh my God, the moment they come home, they're hungry, they want to eat. I got to teach them math and science. I don't even, I don't even teach myself those things, and I have to teach them. And I said, how are your kids doing in school? Oh gosh, they're terrible. They don't listen. They're like all rowdy. And I said, you know, so when they come home, do you ask them what they want to eat? What do you make for them? I don't know. I just asking them what they want to eat. So I just made 2 changes. I said, you ever thought of getting a tutor? And she's like, well, I thought I could always teach them what they're only in like middle school. One was in late elementary, the other one was middle school. And I said, well, if they're so young kids, I said, maybe you ought to get them a tutor that could teach both of them for an hour, maybe once a week, and
Mm-hmm.
see if you still get the headaches or you feel just as tense. And I said, how about instead of asking your kids what they want to eat, why don't you just make something ahead of time? So by the
Yeah.
time they come home, that's what they're eating. Don't ask them what they want to eat, because the moment you ask them what they want to eat, the unknown is stressing you out.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Right.
tried those things. And I'll tell you, over the next several weeks, her stress, just changing those 2 things in her life and correcting her neck and shoulders, completely changed her life. And her relationship with her husband also got better. Then her
Oh,
husband became a patient. And it just started and going from there, you know? So
wow.
it affects people in ways that we don't even know would affect them. And
Right.
that's what we want to do.
Yeah. And you're correct. I mean, definitely headache affects a lot of areas in our lives,
Yeah.
right? Our mood and everything. Now, I'm also glad that you mentioned that she was able to find the root cause of, the headache.
Yes.
Now, how can we pinpoint what triggers the headache?
Well, it's one of those things where you have to actually sit down and do some digging. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, I always ask, where are you when that happens? What are you doing? Who else is involved during those times? Right? And if they can't figure out those 3, there's no consistency. I also like to see what patients were eating
Mm-hmm.
within the last 24 hours before they get the headache. What type of special events that happened that could be stressing them out. And then we correct the spine to allow the tolerance, whether it could be just a physical thing, right? It could be that their body is so out of whack that just life gives them a headache. But we correct their spine and their shoulders and relax everything. They start stretching, strengthening. Now we increase their threshold for stress. Because if it is stress induced, you can only do 2 things. You can either eliminate the stress,
Mm-hmm.
or you can increase the threshold for stress before you get that headache. right? Because if
Mhm.
you're here and then every time you hit that little bit, bright light, boom, you get
Yeah.
stressed. Loud sound, boom, you hit that stress level right here, right? Well, you're gonna tap out every time, you know. But if you can increase that potential and then decrease your stressor, now you're hovering around here. You'll never touch this. It's very rare, and that's how
Yeah.
you maybe prevent headaches. It could be hormonal as well,
Yep.
right? Females can also get that. It's so
Yeah. And so it's like, if in case you want to really pinpoint that trigger, you may just, create a diary of,
yes,
when you get the headaches.
exactly. Where are you?
Mhm.
What time of the day? What day of the week? What did you eat beforehand? Who was around? Any other life events? You
Mhm.
see, sometimes
Food
people
that
could
you
try to
eat.
get off sugar. Boom,
Yeah.
you get withdrawal headaches. Caffeine, same thing. You get a withdrawal headache, right? Certain
Mhm.
foods that people have can cause a headache, you know, but
Mhm.
that's usually because also they might have food allergies, right? I try not to tell people they're allergic to their kids very much. It doesn't go very well.
Imagine, during the pandemic where everyone was at
Oh my
home.
gosh.
Right? Imagine.
Yeah.
So, and the first thing that you do whenever we get headaches is to get a pill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Take a pill.
Take a pill.
Now, aside from the adjustments that you mentioned earlier, Dr. Tam, what other non-drug
Oh, yeah.
treatments can we have?
Well, if it could be stress induced, maybe they got to meditate. Maybe they're so tense right here. They need to lay down on a cervicpedic pillow that we have for all of our patients. It's a blue pillow, cervicpedic pillow. They just lay on there for about half an hour. Turn on some music, right? Listen to some music. Get off your phone.
Yes.
People are looking
Mm-hmm.
down like this, playing with their phone. Look at my neck and look at my head, right? They're just
Mm-hmm.
looking like that. No wonder you're getting so
Yeah.
much stress here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Get off the phone. Go for a walk. Movement, getting that movement, walking around gets people going, get some blood flow going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a few deep breaths, drink some water.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's so many things that you can do. Um, don't don't just leave your kids for adoption. That's not a
Of
people. The
course
moms are
not.
waiting for me to say this. They're like, please tell me to let my kids go. Please tell me I don't have to pick up my kids anymore. Actually, it's summertime right now and
Yeah.
kids are getting off school. Some kids got off school last week. Some kids are getting off school this week. Some parents have a headache just thinking about that. Okay. You got a few parents that are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't have to wake up at 7 o'clock to
Mm-hmm.
to take my kids to school. Then you have some parents that are like, oh my gosh, my kids are
You're
going to be home
home.
all day long. That free time that I usually have, right? I don't know what to do with them anymore. And they asked me, I don't even know. I feel just stressed thinking about it. And I said, put your kids in camps, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
basketball camps,
Yeah.
tennis camps, swimming camps throughout the day that you can put your kids in. You drop them off in the morning, you pick them back up in the afternoon. It's like school, except it's fun all day, right?
Yeah.
As to give your
Mm-hmm.
kids activities to do, make them do yard work, right? or
Mm-hmm.
or do something fun with them as well. Go on a
Yeah.
bike ride, go on a
Mm-hmm.
walk, take them to the park and you exercise as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Teach them
Yeah.
things about their body, why they should be hydrating, why they need to eat vegetables and fruit instead of french fries and candy. You see, there's so many things
Mm-hmm.
that I think as parents, most parents, how I feel is that they don't give themselves enough credit on what they know that they can teach their kids. See, parents think, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to teach my kids." I'm just going to rely on YouTube. Let me turn on the
Mm.
kids' YouTube channel and let them watch it.
Right.
Like, for real, you have to educate your children to, on what they could do to be a better human being, right?
Mm.
I feel like
Right.
it's important, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
that's, I think, what parents could do.
Yeah. And as they say, experience is the best teacher, right? So
Hmm.
let them experience new things so
Yeah,
they learn, right?
yeah. Let them learn.
Mm-hmm.
My wife the other day was like, "Oh my gosh, she should stop running in the rain." That's how my daughter, she busted one of her tooth. And it's a new one. It's not even a kid's tooth. It's an adult tooth.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Now she's going to learn to wear better shoes in the rain. Maybe not
Mm-hmm.
run in the rain. I mean, if she never runs in the rain, she's never going to learn how to run in the rain. What
Mm-hmm.
is she going to do in the event? Like if it was in the
That she
rain and there's a
has.
car coming,
Right.
her first thought is, Mom told me not to run in the rain. No, learn how to run in the rain,
Right.
right? Learn to fall. See, we're so afraid of failure and falling that we don't even do the things will will allow us to fall, right? I said, let her fall. Let her fall a couple times. I think grandparents are the worst. Grandparents sometimes they'll say, "Oh no, 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 no! Don't do it." How's she gonna hurt herself? She's just gonna bike down the street. She has a helmet on. Her head's protected, right? I said, let her do something. But as parents, we're like, "Oh no, don't do that," or "Oh no, don't do
Yeah.
this." Yeah. So sometimes we get so conditioned to it, right?
Right. And it stresses you out, gives you headaches. So
Right. Right. As a parent, you're like, "Oh no." They call them what do they call them? Helicopter parents.
mm-hmm.
Like you're
Yeah.
hovering over your
Just
kids like
hovering
a
around.
helicopter.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get stressed watching the parents get so stressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder you're so tense. You're just watching your kids like a hawk, in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard. And I said, just let them run a little bit. Stop telling them, no, don't do that. Oh no, don't do this. Right? If they
Mm-hmm.
if they're running around, they fall in the mud. They fall in the mud. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't we care too much about sometimes the little things that
Yeah.
we stress ourselves out, you know. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? I mean, I've talked to so many people that they tell me, Dr. Tim, the biggest thing I tell you, as a parent is don't stress the small things. Talk about the things that matter, but the little things, let them be free. Let them run
Mm-hmm.
around and they scratch themselves and physically hurt themselves and they'll learn. If they don't do it, you rather have them learn it in front of you and make a mistake in front of you so that you can be there to help them out when they need to,
Yeah.
than
Agree.
than have them go out into the real world, really hurt themselves, and they don't even know what to do about it anymore. And they go up to a stranger for help, and then bad things happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. So, actually, those are the questions that I have for you today, Dr. Tam. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, one more. Do we have like any supplements or anything that we can take to manage our headaches better?
Well, it depends on what the problem is. It goes back to that. If the problem is
Mm-hmm.
stress and it's coming from your adrenals, we have a supplement called Adrenal Tone that can help people's adrenals. That's where it works with your fight and flight system,
Yeah.
to make it better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yep.
so there's that, but there's other things as well. It really depends on what it is. Is it your gut? Is it your allergies? Um, you
Your
know,
lifestyle. Yeah.
yeah. Is it your lifestyle?
Yeah.
So
And we have a whole series of videos about lifestyle change. So we'll put a link below so that
Right.
you can watch it too. We have a whole video about stress, so you may want to
Yeah.
watch that too. But thank you so much, Dr. Tam, for sharing all those information with us. And don't forget to, if you have any questions, don't forget to comment and subscribe to our channel as well. All
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely, Rocky. Thank you so much.
All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Bye
Tam.
now.
Bye bye.